So this is my daughter's room where this whole hobby started. So right here we have a 20-gallon tank. This is my guppy grow out. Once the guppies are about a month old, I'll put them back into this tank and they can just keep reproducing. The guppies fry. They'll come up in here inside the grass and kind of be safe from all of the parents trying to eat them. Every day I'll open up the lid and see if there's any guppy babies to fish out, and then if there are any babies to fish out, I'll use this little net right here, fish them out and put them in the 10-gallon tank. And what the 10-gallon tank is it is full of little baby guppies. I actually need to pull some of these guys out, they're getting kind of big, but you can see a bunch of little tiny baby fry, especially like that one in the couple in the back right there. But this is where I put all of my guppy fry in order to start growing up, and then once they get to about yay big, I'll actually move them back into this tank. Once they're big enough to not get eaten, I'll move them back into this tank, in which they will grow up even further, develop their colors, and I will eventually either sell them or give them away from this tank. So I actually have quite a few in this tank, to the point where I actually need to get rid of some. I'm not specifically breeding any kinds of lines of guppies. I'm not breeding specific colors. I'm just kind of all letting them do their thing. But I do have some pretty cool looking ones in here. So I have a lot of these red tail fire looking ones. A lot of my females kind of have this like yellowish tail kind of thing going on. I have one blue guy in here, and there's a neon tetra. Oh, there's my blue guy. There was one in here. Let's see if I can find him. There he is. He's got that fire tail, but he's also got like a rainbow right in the center of the screen there, like a rainbow looking head, which is pretty cool. I do have a couple rainbow tail ones, such as this guy, where he's got kind of a shiny body and a long fancy tail. But yeah, the guppy room is booming. I got hundreds and hundreds of guppies, and I only started with 5. Maybe I'll do a quick little easy breeding video on that later, but I mean, it's not hard to breed guppies. You put a male and a female together and they're gonna produce babies every month, every 4 weeks. But what I really wanted to come in here for is I have this other little tank to the side, and I've kind of been neglecting this tank for quite a few months now. Every once in a while what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of food in this tank, but this tank used to be for shrimp. I had a couple cherry shrimp in here, I had a couple blue shrimp in here at one time, and a bunch of ghost shrimp. And it's really hard to see because I have this tank front facing, and then there was not enough room on this dresser to have this little 5-gallon front facing either. So it's really hard to see in here. The light's kind of dark. It's not really thriving, so it's kind of a waste of space. I really kind of want to take this tank down because I've been looking in here for the last couple days and I have not seen any shrimp. About a month ago I saw a pregnant shrimp in here, so I'm expecting there to be a ton of babies. I'm still dropping some food in here every now and then. That's a dead snail, but there's a couple live snails, especially like that one in the back up there. That's a mystery snail that's alive. But in terms of the shrimp, I really haven't seen any shrimp. Oh, I might see one. Let's see if I can move the camera in close to it. There's a shrimp. Right there. So I guess there are some shrimp still in here, but what I'll probably do is if I want to take this 5-gallon tank down, I might move it in all the shrimp and the snails back into the 20 gallons, so that way they can help clean up, because with this many fish in a 20-gallon tank, it does get really, really dirty. In order to keep the water levels down and stuff, I have to... Oh, that's cool. I got my daughter's Minnie Mouse reflection in there. Anyways, in order to keep the nitrates and the ammonia down in this tank, I have to do water changes quite often. So putting a couple shrimp in there might help. Maybe even the baby grow out tank as well, because these tanks do have a problem with ammonia because there's just so many fish in here. So maybe putting the extra shrimp in here will help. But yeah, I might take down this 5-gallon tank and turn it into something else. Our angelfish are laying eggs, so maybe I'll turn it into like a first couple weeks old angelfish fry grow out. A 5-gallon tank would be okay for like brand spanking new baby angelfish. But once they get to a couple weeks old, probably want to move them into something a little bit bigger than this. But yeah, I gotta find a place to put this because I kind of don't really want it on this dresser anymore, just because it's side facing and it's really hard to see in there, and the light's not very good. So I don't know, we'll figure something else out to do with it. But yeah, this is a little update on the guppy room. We've had a lot of guppies for sale, gotten rid of a lot of guppies, made a lot of people happy, and the store owner that I sell them to, he's actually quite impressed with some of the coloration of the guppies that I sell him. He says that some of these red tail ones, especially like this sunrise one and stuff like that, they're some of the more colorful guppies that he gets in the store. So he's really impressed with them. They got these like blue shiny bodies. Pretty cool little species of guppies. But yeah, I don't line breed them. I just leave all sorts of guppy colors and flavors in there, especially with a bunch of females. So really the babies that I get are just a random assortment of colors. So I put all the babies in here, and once they start to grow up, you can kind of tell. Got a couple red tail ones right there. Some of them turn rainbow. But yeah, once they grow up big enough to where they start developing colors in the baby tank, I'll move them back into the 20-gallon tank and then wait for my suppliers at the pet store to need more guppies, essentially, and then I'll just go give them a bunch of guppies. I won't do a whole breeding guide right now, but for those of you interested in breeding guppies, I can give you a quick little rundown. So again, I recommend having 2 tanks, one for your more adult guppies that will breed, produce babies a little bit bigger, so that way they can eat babies, because babies are rather small compared to the adults, and the adults do have a tendency to eat babies. So if you want to have the most success, I recommend having 2 tanks, one for your baby grow out, so that way they can grow up enough to not be eaten, and then your adult tank. So what I recommend in the adult tank, if you want to kind of step it back from it and you don't want to put a whole bunch of time into it, I recommend getting some of this guppy grass, or in this case I have what's called hornwort. It grows rapid quickly. I'll go through it every once in a while, clean it up, take off any dead pieces, but it grows tremendously fast. And a lot of people, they'll plant it in the gravel or the sand or whatever you have. Don't mind the rainbow gravel. This is my daughter's tank. She chose it. It is what it is, but I tend to leave it floating at the surface. And the reason for that is every day what I'll do when I come in here, you can see an adult right there, but every day I'll come in here and I'll take a look at the surface of the grass, and the babies, they will actually come and hide up in the surface of the grass right at the top of the water, and it's really, really easy to just scoop them out. Another thing that people do is they'll look for the pregnant fish, and again, I'll get into more detail on how to spot a pregnant guppy and then when they're about to give birth, all that fun stuff later. But for now, I'll just quickly say, a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll take a large female like this one, and right before it's about to give birth, they'll put it in its own little breeder box, usually hanging up at the top of the tank here, where it's just that one female and there's no other fish involved. Once the female gives birth and the babies come out, the babies will go into the bottom of the breeder box where the female cannot eat them, and all of your babies will be safe. I have a ton of females and a ton of males, so I do not have the time or the resources to do that, so I just let them naturally give birth in the aquarium, and all the babies still come float up here at the top. This means that quite a few of them, unfortunately, most likely get eaten, but I do check on them every single day, and I come in and I take as many of the babies out of this hornwort as I possibly can, and simply just move them over to the baby tank. And yeah, that's basically how I do it. Hope you all found this video useful. I just wanted to give a quick demonstration of my other 3 tanks that I don't think I've showcased on the channel before. We have a total of 8 tanks. These 3 in here are for the 2 guppy tanks and what used to be shrimp, but might be turning that into an angel grow out tank or something. I don't know what to do with this tank yet, but not really having that much success with shrimp, it also is an optimal position to see in there and really take care of it. Got to get a better light. Anyways, just wanted to showcase these 3 tanks and kind of give a little bit of spiel. Oh, guppies might be hungry. They go up to the surface like that whenever I come into the room. But yeah, this over here is our little brine shrimp hatchery. Don't have any growing right now, but we have a little jug that sits in that little stand right there, and there's an air hose, and yeah, we grow our brine shrimp right there for the babies, as well as our panda koi babies and our pleco babies and all those things as well. But yeah, can do a more in-depth guide on how to see the guppies later, but hope you all found this video at least informative, or at least a way to kill time. So thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll get into some more videos. Peace.